Ready? There's radish, mung beans, that's bean sprouts. We've got 5-part salad mix, powerhouse protein mix. This is another sprouting mix. Organic green lentil, regular pea, crimson clover sprouting seed, alfalfa, a sweet protein mix, purple Rambo radish, daikon, the health blend, and we'll give that one a try. True Leaf Market put together this package with Fully Raw's Christina. Now what we're going to do is plant one of these out. There's 12 different varieties. We're going to pick one of these to start today, and then what we're going to do is let it soak overnight. Then we'll come back tomorrow, and what we'll do is rinse one, start another one, and then you can see what day one looks like. Usually, most of your sprouts will take anywhere between 2 to 5 days, and they're ready to go. There's a little sprouting guide, little directions that you need, so you don't really need very many directions from me. And one sprouting lid for a wide mouth mason jar. I'm going to go 1 or 2. 2. What you want to do is soak this for a couple of hours, and we'll come back tomorrow, we'll rinse it out. We're just going to cover it up right now and set that aside. So what we're going to do is get something else started, maybe one of these beans or something. That's what we got here. And you guys stick around. We'll see you tomorrow. Alright, welcome to day 2 of sprouting. And what we did last night was that we soaked these for 4 hours. I just filled it up and rinsed it a few times. We're going to rinse this 2 or 3 times a day. And every time you rinse it, you leave it setting up sideways, and we've got a little drain board, and what that does is it keeps some of the humidity in here and it doesn't dry out quite as fast. Now another thing we do when we first rinse the seeds, just kind of spin it like that so it kind of sticks to the side and it's not all in a big clump on the bottom where it can get just damp and moldy. Now we're going to get ready for day 2 and day 3, and what we're doing is doing this in succession so that we always have some fresh sprouts coming. Today we're going to try Protein Powerhouse. It has garbanzo bean, green pea, mung bean, and adzuki bean. Now your bigger beans you don't let go as long as your smaller seeds. These are just going to germinate and they're going to form a little tail. The beans themselves will be soft enough to eat, and that's what the point that we're going to go ahead and eat them. Just put some water in there. Let's go ahead and rinse them, get them nice and clean, and then go ahead and fill them up like that. Cover it up, leave that set. And then tomorrow we're going to come back and we'll try another one, get the third one set up, rinse these. You'll be able to see how much this is growing in a day, so you're going to get to see day by day how these all grow. So make sure to check in tomorrow and we'll see how these are doing. Alright, we're on day 3 of sprouting, and we have the first one that we planted out, the healthy mix. Here's the one that we just started yesterday, the Protein Powerhouse. So this one we soaked yesterday about 4 hours. Rinsed it out, had it setting up like this. This one we rinsed 3 times yesterday just because it was so hot. So keep an eye on your sprouts. Sometimes when it's cooler you can get away with doing it 2 times. There's no like set rule. Just keep an eye. You don't want them too wet and you don't want them too dry. You kind of want them in that Goldilocks area. So I'm excited. In a few days these are going to be ready to eat. Honestly, these are going to be ready. You can see a couple of the little tails, the little sprouts just started. So in a few days, these are actually going to be ready too. But we're going to set these aside. And we're going to do a radish. This one's a purple radish, Rambo purple. Now in all honesty, I would do about a tablespoon. Radish is really spicy. Now I don't throw a whole lot on our salad. So we're not going to fill up the jar. This we kind of use just like when you do a real salad. You have a bunch of lettuce and you throw a couple of radish in there. I'm not even going to fill the whole tablespoon up. Still plenty in there for more. Now if you really like radish, do the whole thing. Get our water in there. Let that set about 4 hours, then rinse it out. Invert it just like this. So you saw how easy that was. We've got 3 of these going. Not a whole lot of work to sprouting. If you have any questions, they have a little guidebook here for you. And if you're not going to be growing loads of these at one time, if you're just going to be growing a couple, I found this little stand. It's got 2 of these little metal stands that hold a jar. And it came with regular mouth and wide mouth to fit either mason jar. So you get 4 of those lids. So all you need right there. Alright, we're on day 4 of sprouting. We're trying True Leaf Market, the Fully Raw's variety pack. So what we did was our first day, We planted this healthy mix. It was alfalfa, clover, broccoli, and radish. You can see that's going to be ready by tomorrow. You can actually start munching on it today, but we're going to let it green up just a little bit more. The second day we did this protein powerhouse. This has garbanzo, pea, mung bean, and adzuki beans. And pretty much that's ready to go. Beans, you don't want to go too much further than that. Mung beans, you can grow into bean sprouts. Basically, these you sprout, they get a little tail. So by tomorrow, we can have a nice salad. Toss these in it. Toss that on top. We'll go ahead and give those a try. This was day 3. We're still dripping a little bit. That just germinated. You can see some of them just starting to break through. So that's 3 days. And today, we're just going to get a little water. I think we'll do lentils. Organic green lentils, so that y'all can see how fast something like this goes. And just like these was just going to form a tail, and then you can go ahead and just eat them just like that. But I'm just going to use the whole packet there, 1 ounce. So that's organic green lentils. What you want to do is take that in the house. This one's a little big, but just put a little mesh thing on there, rinse it a couple of times, let it sit for about 4 hours. So that'll get going. That's how you keep your sprouts going. You can see it doesn't take a whole lot of time. So we're going to go ahead and let these go. Rinse this. We're going to go invert this on our little dish rack. Have all of these sitting up. There's only space enough for 2 of these here. Usually I wouldn't be growing all of this at one time. I usually just do 2, so this is just fine. If you want to go ahead and grow something like this, like the alfalfa, a leafy green, and then grow you a bean or a lentil at the same time. That way you have a little bit of crunch. So come on back tomorrow. We'll go ahead and harvest this, rinse out the container, and get another one started. Alright, day 5, and we're ready to harvest some sprouts. This is the first one that we tried out. You can see how much that filled out, and that's only 2 tablespoons in there. These are actually ready to eat too. So we're going to harvest both of those and then start over. We've got the radishes just starting to sprout, and the lentils. You can see little tails on them. This one I'm just going to pour into a bowl and use that later. You can toss that on a soup. You can toss that in your salads. And we're going to go ahead and pull this out and see what that looks like. So if you're not going to eat that much, really 1 tablespoon at a time would be alright. Now this one I didn't rinse out this morning because I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. I don't want it to be really soaking wet, so I had it time to dry out a little. That's how many sprouts you get out of it. Alright. Whoa. But that's a lot of sprouts. Let's bring you in here. What I like to do, I'm going to put this into a container. I like to open it up, spread it out, not have it all bunched up. So I get this into a bigger container and kind of just loosen it up, put it in the refrigerator. I just got a little bit of spice from the radish and that. So we're going to put this up in. We're going to start, let's see, 5-part salad mix. Alfalfa, bean sprouts, green lentils, broccoli, and radish. We're going to give that one a try. And I'm going to start some bean sprouts in this one here. Alright, we're going to go enjoy some sprouts, clean this out, start some more, just like we did in the previous videos. Hey, we're on day 6 of Fully Raw Christina's sprouting mix from True Leaf Market. And by now, hopefully you've got the hang of sprouting. Now this variety seed packet also comes with a little sprouting guide, and it came with this lid to get you started. So basically all of them you soak for about 4 hours, and then rinse them 2 or 3 times a day. Leave them inverted like this. You'll do just fine. One more quick tip. If your seed has a lot of hulls, like this radish or the mung beans, when you're rinsing it, let the water fill up, and those holes will flip to the top, and you can easily scrape a bunch of them off. Now it's okay to eat them, but when your sprout is alive, the hull is dead. So staying in this moist environment, it'll start to decay, and that's where a lot of your problems come from. So if I can get most of them out of there, I do. Now we're not going to take you day by day on the rest of these, because actually there's 3 types of radish which will all follow the same procedure as this. And we've got pea sprouts and a sweet protein mix, which is just peas, bean sprouts, and fava beans. Those will do the same as the other beans. In the smaller seeds, we've got clover and alfalfa. Those would do the same as the first mix, or like this one right here. So that basically covers like all the different types of seeds you might have. Great variety pack. You can have a lot of different flavor. Catch you tomorrow. Hey, so we're almost through the whole variety pack from True Leaf Market. It's the fully raw Christina's, her 12 favorites. And right now, right here, I want to show you, this was our salad, 5-part salad mix. And we've got that one going. The only thing we've got left is alfalfa and pea. And usually you guys have seen those. Those are common ones. And basically, this is alfalfa here. So if I do that, it'll basically look like this without all of the, it's got mung beans and lentils. And I think there's radish and broccoli too. But I wanted to show you how much you get. This is basically, if you buy these in the pints, this would fill up like 2 pints. And I only used about half of it. So you get 2 portions about like this. Now, the alfalfa will be the same, as will the radish. You get jarfuls of radish. This is what each pack makes. And the Rambo radish, if you watched a couple of days ago, still got a bunch of that. Radish is really spicy. I don't usually do too much of that at one time. Now for the bigger seeds, like these bean mixes, you get about that much. So these add a lot of crunch, a lot of flavor. But if you want bulk and mass, these will do it here. The radish, I don't do this much at one time. They're really spicy, but I like them in a blend like this, where it's mostly alfalfa, and you've got a little bit of mung beans, you've got a little bit of lentils for crunch, and you've got broccoli mixed in there too. So these blends are really nice. The first one we did was a health blend, and that had alfalfa, clover, broccoli, and radish. And this one's about the same, except it has the mung bean and lentils in there too. So very, very cool. So I hope that helps you see what all comes in that pack and how easy it is to sprout, and how you can do this day after day, where you can harvest some, rinse them out, have some soaking, and just keep this going over and over. So once again, this pack comes with 12 samples. You got the lid for the wide mouth jar and your little guide that tells you everything you need to do. One more quick tip before you go. This one comes with a lid that fits the wide mouth jar. If you're going to be growing stuff that gets packed in like this, like alfalfa and this radish, I'd go with the wide mouth jar. It comes out of here a whole lot easier. Trying to get it out of that small opening, it can be a little frustrating in that. So for things like that, I'd use the wide mouth jar. And things like the beans would do good with the regular size. Alright, catch y'all later. Keep on growing.